January 29th, 2020. Is it working, Mario?
Is it on?
Yes, do the red dot.
Okay. Brachos Chavav. So we said that if you put a cloth over the cake, that means if you put the Sefer Torah in a box and you cover it with a cloth, it's kekli b'toch kli davi. Am Rav Yeshua ben Levi. Sefer Torah, tzarach lasas los mechitza asara. You have to have a divider, at least 10 tvachim high, separating you between you and the Sefer Torah if you're in the same room as the Sefer Torah. Otherwise, you can't have relations with your wife. Mar Zutra Igel be Rav Ashi. Mar Zutra visited the home of Rav Ashi. Chazi leduchta demar bar Rav Ashi. Demanach b'Sefer Torah.
Ernie's car was stolen. Have to tell the whole story all over again.
Oh my
His
God.
rental car, his
You
lead.
stole you rent that Volvo? I didn't see it. I thought you brought you the white one. Oh my God.
So, Igel be Rav Ashi. Chazi leduchta demar Rav Ashi. Demanach b'Sefer Torah. He saw that Rav Ashi had placed the Sefer Torah in a box. So, Amalei mechitza asara. So, Amalei Kiman Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Well, you must hold like Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, who said that halacha. He says no. Aimer Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. It's only the less lebeis achrina. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said that din really you should move the Sefer Torah in a different house. If you don't have a different house, you have the nates of making the mechitza. But Mar Rav Ashi hayis lebeis achrina. So I didn't understand. Since you have another house, why did you build the mechitza? I didn't think about that. I didn't have my mind on that specific diyuk. I should have moved it to a different house. That which we said you have to be marchik yourself dalad amis from tzoya, loisha no alachra. That's if it's behind you. Aval lefonav. That means let's say that tzoya is in front of you. Walking back 4 arms is not going to do it. Marchik malei. You have to get far enough away that you can't see it. And that's for Kriya Shema. V'chein l'tfil the same din for Shmon Esrei. Versus Eini, it's not so. V'amarav v'mapapar v'mav chizda. Oy made adam kedeged beis hakisei mitzpalel. A person could stand right in front of a beis hakisei and daven. Why do you say you have to be marchik? So Gemara says, beis hakisei she'ein bo tzoa. We're talking about beis hakisei that doesn't have tzoa in it. Gemara says Eini. That means that which they said you can't daven from a Beis HaKisei, it's even without Soa. A bathhouse, even there's no people there. So how do you explain the steer in the Baraisa? We're talking about a Beis HaKisei that's a brand new Beis HaKisei. It's never been used before. But since it's been designated Beis HaKisei, it has the din of a Beis HaKisei. This is important for Ravina's pshat that his minu lebeis hakisei mahu. If somebody designated a place to be a beis hakisei, what's the din? Do we say there's halachic force to zimun, yesh zimun, or ein zimun? So kikom aboy Ravina lemek malei litzlui begavei. That means we want to know according to Ravina if he designated it as a beis hakisei. Is it something that you can daven there? Aval kenegdo, but certainly he did not deal with the issue of davening in front of it. He was talking about using it, in fact, as a place of davening. That he was saying zimun or not, but he was not dealing with this issue of kenegdo or not. Amarav.
I'm sorry, the zimun was referring to like benching zimun, like what?
No.
All right.
Zimun means hazmana milsahi means if I designate something as something, does that take effect or not? Mm-hmm. So I designate this mantle to be a cover of a tefillin. So is it already? But I haven't used it yet for it. So does zimun already create all the halachas that I can't do mivazit, I can't do other thing, or no? Zimun is lav milsahi, and until I actually physically use it to cover tefillin, it doesn't have the din of a kisui of tefillin. And this issue of zimun is all over the shas. So here's the same thing: they built a place and they designated as a beis hakisei, but it hasn't been used as a beis hakisei yet. So the question of yesh zimun or not, does it have the halachas of a beis hakisei or not? So we didn't resolve it here. Amarav, v'hani bata kisoy de parsoi. Now this you asked yesterday. Mm-hmm. The Persians already developed a bathroom where the tzoa somehow was moved away. Uh-huh. It was not physically there. It either through a madra, either through a slanted, I don't know if they used water yet. That that only came later. But somehow these Persians, the tzoa was not there. Afagav the ispeit tzoa kistum in domu. So it's considered as if it's closed and sealed. So Rashi says bechafira hayu. They dug a trench. Upiam berachok benaguma. But then the mouth where the person went to the bathroom was very far away from where it rolled and ended up far away. So that, in Mizgalgel, it rolls. They did b'shipua, they did it like slanted, and that was the Persian twist.
Should they smell it?
Well, if the smell, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Mishnah. Zav Shira Keri, Tuma Zav, a male sees 3 emissions in a row, he becomes a Zav. He's tummy for 7 days. Let's go to the mikvah on the 7th day. He has hair of Shemesh, he can eat Truma. On the 8th day, he brings Korbanos. That's how the Zav purifies himself. Now let's say in the middle of Zivus, he sees Keri. Keri is different than Zivus. Zivus is thicker, it's got a different color. Keri is seminally mission. Now, and if you go to the mikveh for Keri, it's not going to be matame. It's not going to be matar you. You're going to be tummy another 5 days. So that tefillah doesn't do anything for you. The nida shepota shechva zera. Nida's already tummy nida. And let's say she had some shechva zera inside of her and it came out. Someone she had relations and she became a nida. So in all these cases, tzrichin tefillah. We need tefillah like we were talking about, whether to learn, certainly to read Kriyat Shema. But Rabbi Yehuda says, since these tefillahs don't accomplish anything, he doesn't make you do those tefillahs. So, Iboila, we have to find a theoretical question. Balkari, Shiroz, even that. The Mishnah talked about a Zav who became a Balkari. What if a guy who was a Balkari that day, and all of a sudden he became a Zav? Does it make a difference? Look, Rabbi Yehuda. Ma'u kipat Rabbi Yehuda Hasam. It's Bezav Shiro Keri. He had a more Chumer Dikat Tumah that got a lighter Tumah. Dimi Kara Lav Bar Tefillah, because he's not a Bar Tefillah, because the Tefillah doesn't help him. Aval Bal Keri Shiro Ziva. Dimi Kara Bar Tefillah. That means if he became a Bal Keri at 9 o'clock in the morning, and only became a Zav at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, well, in those 5 hours, the Tefillah would have worked. The Tefillah would have made him a Tvul Yom regarding the Keri. Right? So maybe there, he would Machayev the Tefillah. Or Gilma Lo Yishna. Or perhaps Rabbi Yehuda makes no distinction. It makes no difference whether you were a Zav and became a Keri, or first you're a Keri and then you became a Zav. So Torshma, coming here a Baraisa to answer our question. Hamishtameshes V'rosa Nida. They were having relations and she became a Nida. We say Tzricha Tefillah. She needs Tefillah, but Rabbi Yehuda pointed because that Tefillah is not going to accomplish anything. She's going to be tummy for 7 days. But this is a Mishameshes. See, when you have Shimush, there's going to be Shechva Zer inside of her. Let's say so that's also a Tumah, where she would, but that's a very simple Tumah. She's like a Balkari. She goes to the mikvah, and then she's a Tvul Yom, and at night she's Erev Shemesh. So when becoming a Mishameshes and then becoming a Nida, that's a similar case to the case where you were a Keri and became a Zav. But you started off with with a more lenient Tumah. You got a more stringent Tumah. And the Kapata Rabbi Yehuda. And yet Rabbi Yehuda pattered. Shma Mina. Right? We asked the question, what would Rabbi Yehuda say? So Rabbi Yehuda patters in both instances. Whether you're a Zav and became a Balkari, or a Balkari and then became a Zav, either way, he patters you from Tefillah prior to Kriyat Shema. Tani Rav Chia Bar Day. In fact, Rav Chia brought a Baraisa specifically like that. Balkari Shira Ziva, Tzar Tefillah, but Rabbi Yehuda pointer. Harlach Mishamesu, Harlach Mishamesu, Harlach Mishamesu.
But the one who said that you're chayiv to go, what is the point of going if it's not going to help?
Okay, because normally, the normal act of carry requires tefillah, so it requires tefillah as
Even
well.
though it's not going to do anything.
It helps for, remember, because, Penny asks a great question. Remember, because Ezra, they were not mesakin tefillah for all those worse tumas. When Ezra made the takana, it was only for Balkari. Why? Because they didn't want the Talmidei Chachamim to be mishamish with their wives like chickens.
Right.
That's only because that's only about Balkari. So Penny asked why the Chachamim required, even though the tefillah is not going to do anything, because the whole takana of Ezra was for carry. So we don't want to lose it. So maybe as a bar plug, if you're going to not do tefillah, you're going to forget to do tefillah when you're about carry. That could be why the Chachamim there still want mechayiv, even though the tefillah doesn't affect his tumah status. Okay. Tefillah, so up until now, we learned about the beginning and start time for Kriya Shema. And then we talked about the start time for Tefillah, which we said was, Netzach Chama is the most optimal time. Well, what about the end time for Tefillah? So the Tanna Kama says, Tefillah Shachar ad Chatzois, half of the day. Rav Yehuda Omer ad Daled Shois. No, only to the 4 hours of the day. Now, the Gemara will ask, is it ad va'ad bichlal? When you say ad arba shos, is it only until the 4th hour? That means at the beginning of the 4th hour you can't. Or ad va'ad bichlal, the 4th hour is included in that. Okay. We hold that ad va'ad bichlal, and therefore we hold that you can daven up until the end of the 4th hour. So if you look at it's always look at your zmanim, because you'll learn again. Oh yeah, go look shkia. Allah, you have Netzach Chama, and you'll see it's 4 hours usually after the Netz, because we paskel like regular. Now, what about mincha? Ada erev. Erev means until shkia sachama. Rav Yehuda Omer ad plaga mincha. We'll see what plaga mincha means. Plaga mincha means like half the time. So we're going to see mincha gedola is 6 hours and 30, the 6.5 hour. That's the first time you could bring the korban bein arbaim. Now, so it could be either halfway between 6.5 hours and shkia, or we're going to see that that's called mincha gedola. Mincha ketana is 9.5 hours.
It's like an hour and a quarter before
But
Shkia.
9.5 hours, which is what they're going to call plaga mincha. Excuse me, which is they're going to call the first time that you could bring. According to, we'll see, the Gemara will tell us the Bein Arbaim in the afternoon, and then halfway between 9.5 and Shkia is where you get the hour and a quarter. So it's an hour and a quarter prior to Shkia, which is what's considered Plag HaMincha, because that's, you're dividing the Mincha Ketana, which is 9.5, until Shkia into half. So it's one and a quarter. While the other din in Plag HaMincha is between 6.5 and Shkia. The Gemara will tell us that. But the Mishnah is very, I would say the word vague. It just says plaga mincha. The question is, what's plaga mincha? Now, tefillas ha'erev, what about ma'ariv? Ein lakva. There's no specific time. In fact, you could read it all night. Now, v'shel musafim, kol hayom. So when is zman tefillas musaf? According to Tanakam, it's a whole day. Again, Rabbi Yehuda Omer ad zayin shos, until the 7th hour of the day, which is when the korban musaf was supposed to be brought. Now, v'riminu, we'll ask you a kasha. You start off by saying tefillas hashachar ad chatzois, but the Brisa says mitzvasa ima netzach chama. The mitzvah of tefillas hashachar is with the netz, when the sun ball is first seen above the horizon. Kedei she yismoch geula l'tefillah v'nimtzah mispal bayom. So isn't that a kasha in our Mishnah? Which says no. Ki tanya ilav vasikin. That Brisa of mitzvasa ima netzach chama refers to those vasikin, those people who would wake up early. Amar of Yechon, vasikin are you goyim oisam anetzach chama, that they would finish the geula l'tefillah right in anetzach chama, so they would start davening right with the netz. The Gemara v'kula alma ad chatzois v'sulo. What? It seems from our Mishnah that everybody holds ad chatzois and you can't daven after chatzois. Is that so? Amar of Mary, berei de Rav Huna, berei de Rav Yirmiyah, barav Amar of Yechon, ta'av v'lo yispalel al harvis. So it's very interesting how the Gemara asks the kasha here. The Gemara now asks the kasha regarding tashlumim, a new concept, that if a person forgot to daven ma'ariv, mispalel b'shachris shtayim. He says shachris, he makes up for the Shemona Esrei that he made for ma'ariv by saying Shemona Esrei twice in the morning. What about shachris? If he missed shachris, mispalel mincha shtayim. He daven shtayim. Now, but it seems to imply that you can daven a whole day, even after Chatzois, that the concept of tefillah extends. Kuli yomim matzli v'ozli. So that's a kasha. How come our Mishnah only says tefillah hashachar ad Chatzois? And for the Gemara, ad Chatzois yavilei schar tefillah bizmana. There's a new concept called zman tefillah bizmana. You get schar tefillah bizmana. Means Chazal say you have to daven within this period of time. And you daven within this period of time, you get a certain schar. Mikan ve'elech. Now let's say you missed it. Let's say the din is on Chatzos, and now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Schar tefillah yavile. Schar tefillah bismana lo yavile. You get schar tefillah. You daven, but you didn't do schar tefillah bismana. So you can daven after, but you don't get the full schar. Iboilu, we have a fine question. Now that you brought up this issue of tashlumim, we say like this: Tov lo yispalo mincha, ma'ush yispalo arvis beis. You notice, right now we had not mentioned that. We mentioned arvis. You did shachris shtayim. You missed shtayim. You do minchas shtayim, and that brisa ended. So and you notice how come it didn't say if you miss mincha you say ma'ariv shtayim? It didn't say that. So now the Gemara is actually asking it as an iboy. What's the din? So, and what's the shaila? The Gemara obviously has a havamina that this issue is different than missing ma'ariv and missing shachris. Let's see what the havamina is. Im tim tzlom etorv lo yispal arvis b'spal shachris beis. Why? Mishum dechad yoimahu. Dichsiv vayir vayvok yom echad. Gentlemen, when does the new day start? It starts at night. So Ma'ariv and Shachris are in the same calendaric day. But Mincha and Ma'ariv, like once you daven Mincha, it's in Beis Tishrei. Excuse me, Beis Shvat. And Ma'ariv is already Gimel Shvat. So there would have been a Havamina that if I miss Mincha, I can't make it up by Ma'ariv. Right? Aval hacha tefil b'makom korban. We're going to see in a minute that there's a machlokes. Why were tefillos established? So according to the pshat, we're going to see that seems to be the major pshat, that tefillos were established keneged the korbanos we do, and we would bring an olas hatamid baboiker, right, a daily ola in the morning, and that sort of correlates with shachris, and we brought an olas hatamid bein arbayim in the afternoon, and that correlates with mincha. Now, since tefillah b'makom korban yivakiven do over yom batul korbanoi, so gentlemen, korbanos worked only in the daytime. Let's say Monday. Netzach Chama was 6 in the morning, and Shkia was 6 p.m. So you shechted a korban at 10 o'clock, and you could do zrikas adam, you could eat it. Now there's you can't do shchita at night. A korban is only, so for example, if you have the olis hatomid for that day, if you didn't do it that day, once Shkia comes, you can't do it anymore. So you see, Mincha is connected to Korbanos. So therefore, there's a Havamina to say that there should be no Tashlumin for Mincha. Because Batul Yoimai, Batul Korbanoi. Oy Dilma, or perhaps the other side will say, Kivan Ditzlusa Rachmi. What is Shmona Esrei? It's Bakashas Rachmi from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kol Emes the boy Matzli. A person can ask Rachmi from Hashem at any time. So that would mean that even though I missed Mincha, I could make it up by Mairi. So those are the two studim of the Shaila. Toshma, come in here, approve. Rav Yehuda, Rav Yitzchak, Rav Yochanan. Tov lo yispal Mincha, mispalel arvis beis. Ve'ein b'zeh mishum de'over yom batal korban. So it seems beferish, a memra in the name of Rav Yochanan, that Mincha, you can have Tashlomim with Mincha. Meisvei, I'll ask you a kasha.
Even though theoretically the korban is cancelled, right?
So we showed two connections. Either we look at the strength of the fact that these tefillos were connected to the korbanos, and then we would use this concept of batal yomi batal korbanai, or tefillah is rachmin ninu. Tefillah is davening to Hashem, and you can daven to Hashem at any time. And so we shouldn't be so focused on the fact that it was connected to korbanos.
Okay.
So we'll ask you a kasha. Meisvei, it says in Mechsechta Kagiga, Mu'uvas lo yuchal l'sake, v'chesron lo yuchal limanos. It's a pasuk, and it says something that was broken can't be fixed, and a loss you can't count. So Mu'uvas lo yuchal l'skom zeh shebatel kriyash mashal arvis, v'kriyash mashal shrachris. The person is required to say kriyash shema at night, kriyash shema in the morning, and he didn't do it. That's it. He has no makeup. Or tefillah shel arvis or tefillah shel shachris. The Gemara Chagiga seems to suggest that if you missed Shachris or Arvis, you have no way to make it up. It's an example of Mu'uvis lo yuchal liskon. It's something that you did wrong that you can't correct. And what does it mean, v'chisron lo yuchal limanos? Zeshem nina chavel var mitzvah. Let's say people gathered because they wanted to donate a Sefer Torah. And one guy decided not to join the group. So that's a chisoron lo yuchol imanos. He can never get that back, right? Nimnu chaver ledvar mitzvah lo nimnu imorim. He wasn't included. That's a loss. So, we have a kasha. One Gemara seems to imply you could make tashlum. This Gemara seems to imply you can't make tashlum. Absolutely. That means, when do we say that there's tashlumim? That means if you missed chakras or you missed mincha, you can make a double shmona esrei the next time. You were a shogeg. You got stuck in traffic. There was an oines rachmana patre, and in that situation you'd be able to make up. But if you bemazed it, I know it's zman mincha, and I'm going to be mevatel zman mincha. Then that's an example of ma'uvis lo yuchal lisko that you couldn't correct. On Ravashi, and I'll prove to you from the language itself. Dekanami, diktoni, botel, right? The brisa that says you were mavatel kriyas shema or tefillah. That didn't say ta. Ta means I made a mistake, which implies a shogeg. Shema me no good proof. Chavava mibeis. Torah Tov lo ispal mincha be'erev Shabbos. So here's the problem, right? Erev Shabbos mincha is a regular mincha. And now Arvis is Mekadesh HaShabbos. It's one bracha, right? Mispalo below Shabbos shtayim. You say two Shabbos Dikish Shmon Esrei. Right. You don't say one Shabbos and one Chol. You say two Shabbos Dikish Shmon Esrei. Tov lo yispal mincha b'Shabbos. Misab moche Shabbos shtayim. Shel Chol. Same thing. You didn't say Ato Echad. You missed Mincha Shabbos. So you say two Shmona Esreis by Ma'ariv, Chol, except Mavdil B'Rishoina ve'eno Mavdil B'Shniya. So you always have to recognize that the first Shmona Esrei you say is for the real one. So the real one is Ma'ariv, right? So you have to say Atachon Antanu in that one. The second one is the makeup for the previous one. Now, v'imhivdil b'shniya, if he made Abdullah v'lo hivdil b'rishona, the shniya also low. So it worked for him. But the rishona lo also low. Now, for example, the Gemara seems to be saying that by missing Atachon Antanu, the Shmona Esrei didn't count. For example, if Bain in the Aseres you made tshuva, if you didn't say Melech HaKodesh, you got to go back from the beginning. Right? Shmona Esrei is not proper. So some things, if you don't say, you have got to go back. Some things, if you don't say, you don't have to go back. This Gemara said that if he didn't make Havdalah in that first Shmona Esrei, it's as if he didn't say anything. For the Gemara, are you telling me that if a person misses Atachon Antanu, it's as if he didn't daven, you have to return him? Verminu. I'll ask your stira. A person didn't say Mashiv Aruach. Or he didn't say the same Talur Motor. Ushe'el Berachos Hashonim Machzirin also. We make him go back. Havdalah b'choin adas ain't Machzirin also. If he didn't say Atachon Antanu b'choin adas, you don't make him go back. Why not? Because an hour later he's going to go home and he's going to make Havdalah Lakois. You don't have to do it. But how come the previous paraisos seem to suggest that if he missed the Atachon Antanu in the Shmona Esrei, it didn't count? Kasha. And it's a kasha that the Gemara doesn't resolve. It remains in a kasha. Itmar. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina Omar. Tfilois ovois tiknu. Shachris Mincha and Ma'ariv were established by our ovois Avram Yitzchak and Yaakov. That's why we have these tfilos. Rabbi Shub Levi Omar. Tfilos connected Tminim tiknu. No. The tfilos were connected to the Ola Satomi that was brought daily. And we'll see how they're connected. Tani Kavasir Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina, Tani Kavasir Rabbi Shub ben Levi. There's a brisa like Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina, a brisa like Rabbi Shub ben Levi. Tani Kavasir Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Avram tikein tefillah shachris. Shenemar, vayashkem Avram baboiker, el hamakom asher amad sham. It says Avram woke up early to the place where he stood. Ve'ein amida ela tefillah. Whenever the Tanakh uses the concept of amida, it refers to tefillah. Where do you see that? Shneamar vayamod Pinchas vayipalel. It says Pinchas stood and davened. So that's a remez to that when it says Vayashkem Avram baboker Elamakom asher omad sham, it refers to Amidah. He did it in the morning. So we see that that was referring to Avram davening. Yitzchak tikein tfilas mincha shenemar. When they brought Rivka home, and Yitzchak greeted her, it says, Vayetze Yitzchak la suach basadeh. Suach means like to speak, right? Lifnois erev. So this lifnois was befer erev, was in the afternoon. Ve'ein sicha ela tefillah. The same way that we brought a remez, that Amidah means tefillah, the Gemara is going to bring a remez that sicha means tefillah. Shenemar, tefillah la'ani kiyatov. The tefillah of an ani, when it's like encircling him, Lifnei Hashem yishpoch sicho, and he will pour his heart out. Sicho from the last, like when you give a sicha. Sicha is like a speech. Exactly. So far we have Avram and Yitzchak establishing Shachris and Mincha. Yaakov tiken tfilas arvis, Shneimar, vayivga b'makom, vayalin sham. And this was at night. He went to sleep. So that's at night. And it says he vayivga, he reached that place, but says the Chazal ein pegia el tefillah. It also refers to tefillah. Shneimar va'ata al titpalel ba'adam hazeh, va'al tisab be'edam rina utfilah, va'al tifka bi. That means don't be poigeya me, don't like touch me. So the concept of pegia also is a lashon of tefillah. So based on these Chazalim, we see that the always were misakim the three tefillahs. However, Tanya Kavas Rabbi Shimon Levi, we have a brayso like Rabbi Shimon Levi. It says Mibnei Amru tefillas hashachar ad chatzos. How come in our Mishnah they said that you could daven tefillah shachar until chatzos? Sharei tamid shel shachar korei v'hoilech ad chatzos. That the time frame to shecht the tamid shel shachar is up until chatzos. Rav Yehuda Omer no ad arba shoyos. He says no, you got to do it before arba shoyos. Sharei tamid shel shachar korei v'hoilech ad arba shoyos. He connects them, and that sort of explains the machlokes in our Mishnah as to why one says chatzos, one says arba shoyos. It's the time limit for when you can offer the oil satomim. Why is tefillah samin chadayerev? Sharei tomid shebin arbaim korev oil chadayerev, because that's the tomid shebin arbaim was offered in the afternoon, and it went all the way till shkias achama. Rabbi Yehuda Omer no, only ad plaga mincha. This term called half of mincha, sharei tomid shebin arbaim korev oil ad plaga mincha. We'll explain what that is. Umidnei ma anu tefillah sa'erev ein lo kvar. Then the Mishnah said that Ma'ariv has no set time, implying you can daven Ma'ariv all night. Why not? Sharei evorim u'pedorim shlo nis'aklu v'erev pray v'holchim kol halayla. Let's go back to Kodshim. If we have the Tomid, the Oil Satomid, or a Shlomim, or a Chatas, or a Nashim, or any korban that you shechted in the day. So basically you did Zrika Saddam. By a Shlomim, the meat was eaten by the Bailim. By a Chatas and a Osham, the meat was eaten by the Kohanim. The innards, for example, the chelav alakloyos, the chelav alaksolim, and by an ola, all the limbs, because who ate a korban ola? Nobody. It was all for Hashem, the mizbeach. So the limbs, by an oila, the limbs and the padorim, which refers to the fats inside, were put on the mizbeach. Now, they were allowed to burn all night. So you didn't have to burn them up by shkia. You did have to burn them up by the morning, because why? What happens in the morning? If they left over, noiser. First of all, there's a lav to leave over. Number two, if you leave over noiser, there's a din, a mitzvah say to burn it. Number two, if you eat a kazayas of noiser, you get kares. Right. So noiser is a big deal. So by the morning, it's got to be burnt up.
Where the lashon of notar come from?
Notar means to leave over. Like the extra, miyutar. So the Gemara is saying, Tfilas Ma'ariv is like the burning the Evorim U'Pedorim, which is all night long.
Yeah, all night long.
So again, there was Machlokes Tanakam and Rav Yehuda. Tanakam said you could have Musaf all day. Sharei Korban Shel Musaf Korv Kol Hayom. Rav Yehuda Ad Sheva Shos. No, Musaf already has to be read by Sheva Shos. By the way, this din is very noig many years Simchas Torah, because you see Musaf is until Sheva Shos, but we're going to see Zman Mincha already starts by 6:30, by 6:30. So that's why many times if the kahal has schlepped and they get too late, they're going to be in trouble because the mincha will have to be daven before you daven musaf. We never get there because the rabbi is always worried about that. So we always make sure we daven musaf before that period of time. But that special diuk in halacha is why that's an issue sometimes. Ve'ezohi mincha gedola. So what is considered mincha gedola? Rashi, in bola hagdim tomid shel ben arbaim. A person wants to offer the tomid ben arbaim right away. Eino yochel hagdimo kodem sheisho metza. The earliest that you can offer the tomid shel ben arbaim is 6:30. The ben arbaim. What is the word arbaim? It's from the word eretz. It's two eretz. So think about it, gentlemen. Chatzois is when the sun is right above us.
Okay.
6:30 is the first time that it starts shifting. So you have real erev when the sun goes down, and then you have the first tilt towards sun going down. So that's why bein arbaim, between the two erevs, between 6:30 and between, when I say 6:30 means sheish umerza and shkias achama. So the bein arbaim ksiv bein michiyinotu tzlolei erev mishechama noite l'mayrev. The sun is already going towards the west a little bit. I knew mamish shos umerza ulamala. Domar chatzi sheish v'chatzi sheish chama imedes. Exactly at 6, the sun's right above us. Brosh kolonam, the emtzarakia. So mincha gedola refers to the first time that you can daven mincha. Sheishosu merza lamala. Ve'ezohi mincha ketana. Says Rashi, what's mincha ketana? Zman tomid shel ben arbaim b'chol yom. Means habola hagdim. Habola hagdim. The earliest they could do is then. When was that important, gentlemen? Erev Pesach. When they needed to, maybe there was a reason because they had so much to do that they wanted to do that very early. But normally, the normal zman tomid shel ben arbaim b'chol yom is mitesha sha'os umerza. It was 9.5. Ulamala kedinam b'tomid nishchat b'shmona umerza v'kar b'tisha umerza and v'hosam b'forish time. Over there in Pesachim we'll get the reason for that. Ve'ezohi mincha ketana mitesha sha'os umerza ulamala. So we asked the fine question. Rabbi Yehuda, plag mincha kamo ka'amar, or plag mincha achrona ka'amar? So when in the din of Rabbi Yehuda, when he said plag mincha, was he referring to halfway between 6:30 and shkia, or the halfway between 9:30 and shkia? So Toshma, the time Rabbi Yehuda Omer, plag mincha achrona amru, v'hi yud aleph shos choser revia. So that's if you take an hour and a quarter, that's so that you see. We 9.5 till 12. The difference between those will be an hour and a quarter this way, an hour and a quarter that way. So name it tevetiyus to Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina. Now, Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Chanina told us that the tefillas were established keneged the avos. Now you just cited me all these baraisas that showed us that the tefillas are connected to the korbanos. So is this a shvera kasha on Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina? Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina? No. Lo'olam en tefillas always tiknum. Really, the always were masakin it, but asmachinu rabbanon akarbonos. The rabbanon gave other sort of leanings, connections to the tefillah. Te'ilo temahachi tefillas musaf Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina man takana. That means, according to Rabbi Yosef Bar Chanina, where did musaf come in? There's no. Now I've once heard pshat. Who was there is. Right, we had 3 avois and 12 shvatim. But that's not really correct. One of the children is considered an av and a ben, Yosef. Yosef is a transitional figure because he basically served as a period of time as an av because in Mitzrayim he ran them.
Children got the
And he, so in a way, he's not. So what word is similar to Yosef? Musaf. So just like we were Misakein, these 3 Yosef. But really the Gemara doesn't learn that way because the Gemara says, it means if you're going to learn that Rabbi Yosef has to establish each tefillah according to an av, there was no av that were Misakein the Musaf.
How about Nila?
Ela tefillas avos tiknu v'asmechin rabbanan karbonos. And then, of course, you have Ne'ilah. We can come up with a pshat for that as well. Now, Rabbi Yehuda Omer had arba shows. Now, Rabbi Yehuda argued with the Tanakama, who said that you can daven until Chatzos. He said, no, you can only do it until the 4th hour. And then we ask the following question: Iboilu, ad va'ad bichlal. When we say ad, daled shows, do we mean until the beginning of the fourth hour? You don't include the fourth hour. Oy dilma, ad velo ad bichlal. Ad va'ad bichlal means fourth hour is included. Oy dilma ad velo ad bichlal, and the fourth hour is not included. So Toshma, come and hear a proof. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, it says ad plaga mincha, that the zman is until plaga mincha. Now I amrit bishulma ad velo ad bichlal. Right? If you're going to tell me that it stops at the time, it doesn't include the other time. So there's a machlok. Because remember, the Chachamim said you can daven all day, and he said you can't. You can only daven until plaga mincha. Now, if the ad bichlal, then that other time is also included in Rabbi Yehuda. So there would be no machlokas between Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachamim. They would both agree. So it's only if he stops at the plag that was a machlokas between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon. Yem ad vad bichlal, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbanon is the same shita. Elamai ad v'lo ad bichlal. Elamai, what are you going to tell me? Ad v'lo ad bichlal. And this we're going to say for tomorrow.
Very nice.
If it call you.